Heavy, isn't it? Announcing the new Reach Out America, an innovative long-distance package from AT&T. Look inside. You'll find it's packed with savings opportunities around the clock, 24 hours a day. That's because for just $9 a month, you get a full hour of calls all across the U.S. on weekends and nights. So you can call Alaska for a full hour or all the way to Hawaii. And the hour is always one low price. But don't order yet. We've packed in a lot more. Weekdays, you get 5% off your AT&T long-distance calls. You also get 15% off your evening calls. So you can feel free to pick up the phone and make call after call and always talk to your heart's content. So order Reach Out America. It's packed with savings opportunities around the clock, 24 hours a day, which makes it easier than ever to call loved ones in the next state or clear across the country. To get your package, call 1-800, call 1-800, call 1-800-524-8500. For just $9 a month, you get a full hour of calls all across the country on weekends and nights. You'll also get 5% off your AT&T long-distance calls during the day and 15% off your evening calls. So why not pick up the phone right now and order AT&T's new long-distance package? Call 1-800-524-8500 and get the AT&T package that offers savings opportunities 24 hours a day. Get Reach Out America. You've never seen a package like it before.
Mark McKay, Headline Sports. Seton Hall has certainly turned around its basketball fortunes. For decades, the Pirates were just another also-ran among college teams. Today, they're among the elite headed to Seattle next weekend for the Final Four. On Saturday, Seton Hall captured the West Regional crown by knocking off Nevada, Las Vegas 84-61. The Pirates used a balanced scoring attack to get the job done, led by Andrew Gaze, who had 19. The Southeast region goes to Michigan. Yesterday, the Wolverines embarrassed Virginia 102-65 behind a 32-point day from Glenn Rice. Steve Fisher is now the first interim head coach to lead his team to the Final Four. Fisher picked up his fourth straight victory since taking over for Bill Frieder. This afternoon, the Midwest and East regions will crown champions. At Minneapolis Metrodome, Illinois and Syracuse square off. The Illini got there by bouncing Louisville out. The Orangemen are in after eliminating Missouri. In the East, Duke took care of Minnesota to advance to today's regional final against Georgetown. The Hoyas made it after holding off North Carolina State. We move to the NBA, where there's a change of guard to report atop the Central Division. Detroit is back in first place after winning its fourth straight. Last night, the Pistons put away Charlotte 113-101. 8 Detroit players scored in double figures, led by Joe Dumars, who had 18. Atlanta handed New York only its third loss at Madison Square Garden this season. The Hawks got 34 from Dominique Wilkins in their 115-108 victory. A big numbers night in the Summit on Saturday. The Rockets not only set season highs in scoring, but in rebounding as well, as they downed Golden State 144-104. Hakeem Olajuwon had 24 points and 15 of the team's 65 rebounds. Scottie Pippen led Chicago with 31. Michael Jordan kicked in with a triple-double as the Bulls beat the Sonics 111-110. At the Salt Palace, Karl Malone had 37 points as the Jazz stopped the Nuggets' 5-game winning streak. Utah won by a 112-90 count. Miami edged San Antonio. Bernard King had 26 to spark the Bullets in overtime. Milwaukee needed OT to beat Cleveland. Phoenix has won 7 of 8, and the Kings handed the Blazers their third straight loss. In the NHL, Los Angeles doubled up Edmonton 4-2 on Saturday. Bernie Nichols had a pair of goals and added an assist for the Kings. Toronto topped Detroit 6-5. Ed Olchuk had the hat trick for the Maple Leafs. Mario Lemieux also had 3 goals as the Penguins rallied to beat the Devils 5-4. Lemieux's third goal came with just 5 seconds to play in regulation. Boston beat up Chicago. Hartford blanked St. Louis. Philadelphia topped the New York Rangers. Quebec took care of Buffalo. And Minnesota and Montreal finished tied. Mark McKay, Headline Sports.
My son and I can't wait to get away on my Sierra and do some fishing. And GMC Truck makes it easy. I've got towing strength, a smooth ride from the independent front suspension, the security of rear-wheel anti-lock brakes, and saving $900 on options with a value package. Sierra, a solid value I can depend on, backed by a bumper-to-bumper plus warranty. GMC Truck, it's not just a truck anymore.
Now get an automatic transmission on new Sierras at no extra charge.
They've made Tylenol even better.
The gelatin coating is what makes the difference.
I like the size.
I like them because they work.
Extra strength Tylenol gel caps. It's not a capsule, it's better.
You want something strong? Gel caps. Tylenol gel caps.
We've studied your mouth from every angle and created a toothbrush with a very special angle, the Reach toothbrush, with a dental angle designed to clean even back teeth better, to get your teeth 51% cleaner than the other leading brush. Reach for 51% cleaner teeth.
The French have their cafes, the Italians bistros, and the Egyptians, they have their coffee houses. John Sweeney reports those houses have been male hideaways for centuries.
Don't look for women in Cairo's numerous coffee houses. Even in the Middle East's most liberal city, this is still a world dominated by men. Like their fathers and grandfathers, most men in the Egyptian capital arrange their daily schedules to spend an hour or two chatting with friends, apparently oblivious to the frenzied activity of the rest of this city's 15 or so million inhabitants.
We are used to come here every day because this cafe is family one, and we're coming to smoke nargila.
The rented 25-cent water pipe is definitely part of the coffee house's appeal. These days, in public places, the smokers most likely puff away on tobacco and not hashish. The 10-cent Turkish coffee is strong with a capital S. The 5-cent tea is steaming hot and most likely sweet. There are thousands of coffee houses located in Cairo. Nobody knows how many for sure, but many of the most interesting ones are located in the city's renowned Khalili Bazaar. The most famous is the 350-year-old Fishawi. The shop started operating in this same location shortly after the Pilgrims arrived in America. Others cater to famous patrons. This year's Nobel Prize-winning author Naguib Mahfouz did not travel to the award ceremonies in Sweden, but never misses a day at his favorite hangout. Many of the shops have made one small concession to the 20th century, and on Monday evenings they are packed with faithful fans of Egypt's favorite TV program, Falcon Crest. It makes you wonder what Jane Wyman would think if this was two-way TV. Battered television sets aside, walking into a Cairo coffee house is like strolling into the distant past. And from ancient invasions to today's inflation, nothing stops the men of Cairo from their daily respite from what is often the very harsh reality of life. John Sweeney, CNN, Cairo.
Painting eggs is an Easter tradition in the Ukraine. It's a tradition dating back even before Christianity and passed down from generation to generation. Jane Wattrell has the story.
It's called pizanki, an Easter egg tradition handed down through generations of Ukrainians. The colorful eggs were always part of Marty Neely's childhood. Now using a kiska, or stylus, and wax, she carries on her heritage.
Basically, wax repels water, and the dyes we use are water-based. So anything underneath the wax won't change. So you do your design and just kind of create a framework and start with the white lines and then move on through the other colors. What I'm doing here is going to be a star design. And I'm starting with a small star here. And it's all basically geometry.
To Ukrainians, these eggs mean more than just beautiful patterns and colors. There's history and meaning that dates back more than 2,000 years.
They believed that by decorating the egg with certain symbols, they could direct the power of life in that egg and affect their lives in the manner that they needed it to be affected. So they would put things like a star on the egg, and that would symbolize a long life. And they'd put wheat on the egg, and that would mean a long, bountiful harvest. Then after Christianity came to the Ukraine in 988, some of the symbolism changed to take on Christian meanings.
It takes about an hour to make one decorated egg, and it's important to stay true to ancient patterns.
It's been around over 2,000 years, and I'd like to see, at least during my lifetime, that I can continue it more through that. And I've been teaching my daughter, and hopefully one day she will follow in my footsteps and be able to make the eggs, too.
Jane Wattrell for CNN in Omaha, Nebraska.
And that's our report for this half hour. Thank you for joining us. I'm Cindy Klose, wishing all of you happy Easter from all of us at Headline News.
Headline News.
This is Headline News.
It's always on time.
Isn't it every 30 minutes?
Yeah, every 30 minutes for 30 minutes. I get the top stories fast.
And always updated.
Soviet President Mikhail Gorbachev.
What else is there?
$10 and cents.
Headline Sports is next. I can turn to it any time.
The Hollywood Minute.
I use Headline News. My schedule's packed. I don't have time to waste.
Around the world, every 30 minutes, this is Headline News.
Headline News. Continuously updated. Always on time.
From Turner Broadcasting System, this is the Headline News Network.
Steel. Muscle. It takes one to perfect the other. And nobody knows that better than Soloflex. Before you take your Soloflex through its workout stations, we put it through some of our own. We start with raw materials. Use force and resistance, knowledge and skill, effort and technique to create a strong, balanced, and functional work of art. All of which goes to show the way we build Soloflex is a lot like the way you use it. For a free brochure, call anytime.
Headline News, I'm Cindy Klose. In the Soviet Union, elections today with a difference. More than one candidate to choose from. From Moscow to the Mir space station, millions of Soviets are choosing representatives to the country's new Congress. Steve Hurst is on the Moscow end and files this report.
Mikhail Gorbachev, the man who dictated these first multi-candidate elections, dropping his ballot in the box. It had taken him just 25 seconds to mark the list of congressional candidates. His wife, Riza, was a little slower. As they joined each other outside the polling booth, Gorbachev autographed his book for members of the local election commission. Outside, reporters swarmed around him, asking him about the candidacy of Boris Yeltsin, the former Gorbachev protege who fell from grace 18 months ago. Gorbachev responds that, in the campaign that is going on in our society, not only Yeltsin has been criticized, there has been criticism of our past and our present, and of certain things we have done in the course of perestroika. Here, Mr. Yeltsin has no priority. And did he vote for Yeltsin? It's a secret ballot, he says. I voted for a candidate. Then they headed for home, his wife holding the umbrella against the late March drizzle. About 2 hours earlier, across town, Yeltsin voted in his home district. He drew a crowd of reporters nearly as big as the one on hand for Gorbachev. The burly anti-establishment candidate who pushed perestroika reforms too fast for Gorbachev's liking and lost his important party jobs, primarily as boss of the capital, wasn't done complaining. The law itself needs modifying, Yeltsin says of the election code. The election itself showed that the election law is imperfect, that it is not fully democratic. Yeltsin has come under heavy public fire from the Moscow party, which charged him with hypocrisy in enjoying party privilege while campaigning against it. The party National Central Committee, under the presumed direction of conservatives like Yegor Ligachev, formed a special commission to investigate Yeltsin's political beliefs. Ligachev, the head of the conservative faction in the ruling Politburo, voted Sunday in the same polling place as Gorbachev, at a chemical physics institute nestled in the trees in Lennon Hills. The national vote tally won't be known for about 10 days. But on the most interesting race, that involving Boris Yeltsin, he said to expect results before noon Monday. And for many voters in this country, the whole more democratic election process will stand or fall on a Yeltsin victory. Steve Hurst, CNN, Moscow.
3 Soviet cosmonauts on board the Mir space station were among the first to vote in today's elections, but they had to forfeit the privilege of a secret ballot. According to the TASS news agency, each radioed his choice to Earth. Easter Sunday is being celebrated throughout the Christian world today. Pope John Paul II, in his Easter message to the world, appealed for an end to religious persecution, oppression, and war.